Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What's Poppin' podcast. It feels good to be back. It feels like we've been away for 2 weeks, even though it's only been a week.
Yeah.
This is episode number 9.
Nine. Yep.
I remember that time.
We got this
it's
down.
nice to hear, or it's nice to see everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in either on, by the way, drum roll, Spotify or YouTube. So yes, we have an announcement, guys. You're officially on Spotify. And if you guys are listening to on Spotify, thank you guys so much, man.
We appreciate it.
Yes, it means the world to us. And we've been grinding our asses off, especially Tim specifically, to get us up on there. And trust me, we heard the cries, we heard the concerns. When are we going to get on Spotify? And we're officially on there, and it feels good to be. So thank you, Tim. We appreciate it, man. But man, it feels weird getting back into this because I feel like there's so much news that compiled within a week that we wanted to talk about. We're like, oh my god, we got to take.
It was crazy, and that's what happens. Like, because I got horribly. If you guys are watching this in the future, this doesn't really matter. But for those who missed out on that week, I got a horrible case of food poisoning. I got hit with this food poisoning harder than I've ever been hit with a sickness before in my life.
Yep.
I was praying to any deity that would listen to me almost in my bathroom.
Right.
I was more.
And it was crazy too because last week I when you mentioned that you had food poisoning, which was on Monday, you couldn't do it, and I was like, oh, we could do it on Tuesday, and even then, this man was still gonna push himself to record. I'm pretty sure you were probably still feeling like crap too.
Oh, dude, it was horrible.
I was like, for a part of me just felt like, maybe we should take the day off and just wait till next week. We'll be okay because we didn't have a movie review to do last week, but we have one this week, which is going to be for The Invisible Man. So stay tuned for that one, guys.
Yep.
But other than the food poisoning, dude, how you been, Tim?
It's been an increase. I mean, it's like walking on the moon, not being stuck in a bathroom. I tell you what, it's wonderful. So I'm living life high now. I mean, I'm keeping down pizza and everything. So we're good.
I had my case of bad food poisoning, dude. It is absolutely excruciating, man, especially when you can't leave the toilet. It's the worst part, man. I'm sorry, plug your ears, guys, but I've had some really bad food poisoning where it's just like, I think I'm done. I get off the toilet. Wait, no, I'm not done.
Yeah, for sure.
Immediately sit back down.
I think the best way to summarize my experience was I am now far more intimate with my bathroom and toilet than I ever wanted to be in my life.
Oh man, you had the candle sit in there.
Oh yeah, it was a whole project.
Phone charger just in case, dude. Other than that, how was everything?
Yeah, it's going good, I said, and I'm excited to get into the podcast. I missed it. I really did.
Yeah, me too, man. Honestly, it feels good back to be recording. But other than that, guys, for me, I just been grinding out on Twitch until we can, and I was trying to keep up with all the news that was being dropped on us. A lot of exciting stuff, and we got a lot of opinions on some of the stuff going on. And also, guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, please go check out my recent reaction for the Candyman trailer. Be sure to please go show some love over there, hit a like, leave a comment, let us know what you think. But yeah, other than that, everything's been going pretty good. I recently just hit my 5 years partnership on Twitch, which is
congratulations.
Pretty nuts, man. It's pretty nuts because I didn't really picture myself to be streaming as long as I have been. But
you rock it, man. It's well deserved.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. It's been one hell of a ride, and I want to bring that love and positivity I got from, learning to stream and all that stuff to the podcast here. And hopefully we can keep doing this for many years to come,
I'll be down.
Hopefully. We're barely on episode 9. So let's try to make it to 100. That'd be the goal. All right.
That's a cool goal. I'm down.
All right. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into the news here. I'll go ahead and kick it off. First bit of news we have is by discussing film. It is Creed 3 is in development with Zach Palin to set to write the screenplay.
Okay,
and that's pretty much all we have as of right now, as far as like Creed 3.
Do you know what he's worked on other than?
I believe. Give me one moment here. He has is a script behind the upcoming Will Smith movie King Richard.
So that's
the most
pretty much
recent thing.
Okay,
that's the most recent thing. Yes.
Huh. Well, because I really loved Creed 1 and 2. I found those to be really cool.
Yeah, and they're both by different directors and writers.
Yeah, so I'm down for sure. I really like
it
him
seems
though.
like it's been doing pretty good, man. I really enjoyed the first and the second one. I think I enjoyed the first one a little bit more over the second one,
Yeah,
in terms of tone. But I did the action in the second one was definitely a lot better, and there was way more boxing involved. That's for
yeah.
sure.
I
It's
my favorite thing about the second one is because my favorite Rocky personally
mhm, mhm.
is Rocky Four. Um,
Okay. That's
eh,
that's when I went the more action route, right?
yeah. So to have the son of, because I believe Rocky Four is the one with the Russian guy, right?
Ivan, yeah,
Yeah, I
Drago,
didn't want to
Ivan
go
Drago,
crazy here, but
yeah,
his son in this was as intimidating as Ivan.
yeah. No, he was, yeah,
So I was
absolutely.
like down for that ride. And it was a crazy
Yeah,
good
and you
movie.
know what's crazy too is that they left out a really good scene.
Hmm.
There's a big deleted scene which you can find on YouTube, by the way. You can type it up. It'll be like Ivan Drago's son and or Creed and Ivan Drago's son. I forget his name in the movie, but they have like an actual. Well, it's mainly Creed. The son is just sitting there, but they have a dialogue exchange with each other after the fight.
Oh, cool.
So Creed pretty much just tells him like, like it's pretty much leave it in the past with our parents, and this is we we did
We
what we
did
have to
it.
do, but there's no bad blood between
Right.
us because they're just the kids. They have nothing to do with that history, but
Right. Does he then accept that, or is he all
yeah,
like,
they both kind of just nod to each other,
okay,
like it is what it is, and he walks away. It's a
okay,
really good scene, and I don't know why it was not included in the film because
yeah,
it would have played out a lot better. Me personally, that's the only scene that I wish it was in there. But other
yeah,
than that, it's exciting that we're getting a Creed 3, and now it's like it's being written. And I knew, obviously, I think you knew that we're going to get a 3, right? I just don't know where they're going to go with the story. Especially since Sylvester Stallone said he's done with Rocky, with the character.
yeah. Oh, he's getting up there too, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for him to move on. Especially, I think
Right.
because Ivan was the one who killed one of his best friends, Apollo. For him to
Mm-hmm.
lead the son of Apollo to defeat that man is a
Mm-hmm.
really good final note for Rocky
Mm-hmm.
as a character. Like he's paid
Yeah.
that old due, and so I think as far as Rocky being involved and
I,
Stallone, I'm fine with
I
him not being in there.
I'm fine with him not being in there either. I wouldn't mind maybe hearing him like in a some form of like a dialogue, which could possibly over a phone or something. You know what I mean?
Maybe a visit in a
Uh,
nursing home. Or
right, right. But like something small. I don't expect him to be in the next film like actively like he was in the last two.
oh right,
Yeah. So we'll see what they go in terms of story goes. But exciting news for Creed 3. Are you excited for this?
oh
Safe to
yeah,
say?
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
there. No, regardless if we even review the thing, I'm seeing this movie. So for sure.
Right. Next bit of news that we have here is Marvel news. Actually, it's a
Ooh.
William Hurt, which was a character since the very beginning of Iron Man 1, I believe, right?
Well, I believe his first appearance was the Incredible Hulk. Was the first time we ever saw him as General
Yo,
Ross.
you're right. Yes,
Um,
General Ross. Yes.
yeah, and the end
He had
credits
he
scene
had
for
an
that
exchange
with
with
Tony.
Iron Man, with Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Well, his character is reportedly supposed to debut as the Red Hulk in Disney Plus's She-Hulk series. And Mark Ruffalo has said that there have been early talks for him to appear in She-Hulk as well. So that is sounding pretty crispy, really good,
so
man.
I have a kind of I have a mixed opinion on how Hulk has been treated in the MCU so far. I
Mhm.
recently rewatched the Incredible Hulk and a lot of Phase One,
Yeah.
and Hulk is terrifying in that movie, regardless if you like it or not. He's scary. Like,
No, I think a lot of people, from what I've heard, is the movie's good. It's just the issue was the off-camera stuff that happened with I forget the actor's name. Oh God, it's American History
oh,
X,
oh, 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 oh,
Fight
he
Club.
Bruce. He was Bruce in that one. Why are we blanking on this name? That's shameful.
Yes.
My God, Jesus.
Hold on. Hold
I
on.
I
We're
just
gonna
watched this.
find it. I promise you guys. We're gonna find it right now. As soon as
Oh no! As
it's at the
soon as
tip
you
of my
say it,
tongue.
yeah, he was in everything. He was in Fight Club too.
Yes, he was. And the name is
Drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Hold on.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, my point is that he's
Edward Norton. Oh
Thank
my
you.
god, there it is. Edward freaking Norton. So, anyways, there is a whole bunch of controversy behind the cameras with Edward Norton. Supposedly, he wanted more money. Supposedly, Edward Norton wanted he wanted more hands-on with the story.
Yep.
But like, you know, Disney
he wanted to take the writing, like
Marvel,
he wanted to take the reins away from Kevin Feige because he didn't want to have the same vision as Kevin Feige. And Kevin Feige's like, no, I'm obviously building to something cool. No, I'm not going to let you do that. So that's kind of bad spat. But in universe, though, Hulk in that movie was terrifying. Like, there's moments in that it's like, Jesus Christ, this dude is insane. Then you go to Avengers. He's still scary. I mean, he's throwing Thor around and everything like that. And then as the movies have gone on, they've turned Hulk into more like a very, very background character that gets kind of violent at moments. But then after Thor Ragnarok, he's just gotten nerfed into the ground and to just being how he is now.
He's more of a goofy side of a character now, too.
Yeah, and it's such a different change. So this news about the She-Hulk series, Ross as potentially Red Hulk, and now maybe even Mark Ruffalo being there, I'm like, this is the time for Hulk to be really just fucking balls to the walls and go crazy, and I would love that.
Right. Yeah, no, I hope so too, man. And I hope eventually we end up getting a standalone Hulk movie with either him against Wolverine, because that'd be a great introduction to Wolverine. And there's supposedly early talks or rumors, I'm gonna say rumors, of Superman, Henry Cavill
potentially playing him,
playing Wolverine, which would be fucking insane. I think that would be great.
It would mess with my nerd mind.
That would be pretty good. That would be like, pretty cool, man.
It's Superman, but it's also Wolverine. Like, it would just it would mess with me at the same time.
That's also Geralt. What the hell?
Yeah. It would be like,
oh my god. What can this man not do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nuts. But it's nonetheless, She-Hulk stuff is looking promising right now, man.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Red Hulk. And I did my research since last time we talked about She-Hulk. I went full nerd, did a lot of research on She-Hulk. She's awesome too. And it's there's a lot of potential with this. And there's also, I don't want to say who it is because it's kind of a spoiler. I'll tell Jimmy off of the podcast. Red She-Hulk is a thing, and I want to check that out too eventually. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, I know. I'm aware of that. I am aware of that. But yes, next bit of Marvel news, but it's also Sony related.
Okay.
So little split there. Photos of set photos of Venom 2 have actually started to be put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also a little bit of footage, like cell phone footage, obviously, so not the greatest.
Okay.
Well, first of all, they have a shot of what's his name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy as Venom in the rain, not in full suit, just him in the rain, just like a weird picture of him in the rain,
like a rap album cover.
I don't know if he's like Sad Boy Hours type like look.
Yeah, he's about to drop the hottest album of 2020. That's what's happening.
You're right. Yeah. And then they also have a picture of Cletus Cassidy in not full suit either, but they have him in a Hawaiian shirt, and they also changed his hair. It has more of like a mohawk type of like. It's more of a modern look to his hair,
right?
Instead of the red curls, because I think Sony was aware that the red curls
that was a bad look.
Just wasn't looking good.
Yeah, it was bad look.
Maybe they acknowledge it in the movie and they give him a haircut or something.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But as of right now, the pictures that they showed, I'm still like whatever's about it, because I honestly I was okay with Venom, the first one.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay. I thought the villain was really weak. I still think it's just still really weird that we're getting spinoffs of Spider-Man villains. And then in Venom, he doesn't even seem like a villain at all. He's an anti-hero at first.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the whole Venom thing. Like, Venom as a character started out as, well, a villain and then like the opposite of Spider-Man with his abilities. And Spider-Man couldn't detect him. That was a whole thing. And it was a symbiote on an enemy of Spider-Man. And there's a whole, like, the Black Spider-Man suit. I don't know if we're going to get that same stuff. We might still, but it just seems like weird to start it out in this way and start rushing into all these different symbiotes, because, I mean, there's a lot there, obviously. I mean, huge fans of the of the Spider-Man comics will be first to tell you that there's plenty of room left to tell stuff. But yeah, I found the first Venom movie to be entertaining, but not that great either.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, the pictures aren't doing anything for me, but they're not, making me regret wanting to see it either. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't want to be excited about this stuff because I do like the character Venom and Carnage, and eventually meeting up with each other, fighting off with one another. But I did like the fact that they team up eventually to try and take down Spider-Man. And I don't know if we're ever gonna get that. Especially since, like I said, Tom Hardy's character isn't necessarily a bad guy.
No, he's actually, I would say he's good. Honestly, I don't even know if he's anti here. I think he's actually straight up a good guy.
He's like a good guy, right? Like, it's just, I don't know what to think. I don't know. Maybe they might do something different in this film where he's actually more of a bad guy, or he becomes a bad guy. I don't know how that would happen. What makes him go rogue all of a sudden? But it's interesting, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it for like the pictures for like Venom talk. I have one more bit of news here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to you. You can go ahead and talk about some of this stuff. But the last one I want to talk about was that Diego Luna says the idea for Disney Plus's Cassian Andor began just before Rogue One was released.
Okay.
Now, so basically, he's just saying that it was already in talks before the movie was even like being released already. Yeah. So, which is interesting. Which is really interesting. I don't know. I still don't know how to feel about the show. I love Diego Luna. I like his acting, especially. I recently watched the season 2 of Narcos Mexico, and he did a phenomenal job in that show. Fucking hands down to him. But still don't know if we need this, like if this necessary at all.
Yeah,
I hope they make it necessary, meaning like it adds something to the story of Rogue One, or it's just I
gotta be very honest with you. I'm very chock full of what I want within that particular story beat, from episode 1 all the way through to whether you stop at episode 6 or you continue all the way to episode 9, doesn't matter. That whole, what they call the Skywalker saga, I feel like I've seen enough from that whole bit, especially with this next bit of news I'm going to talk about after this one. After that's done, I'm kind of ready to just stop with the Skywalker saga. With the exception of Mandalorian, that's the only thing that's kind of piquing my interest. But this, they said that they've been in talks, right, since before Rogue One came out, and Rogue One came out December 16th, 2016. It's 2020, folks. This has been in talks and in the works, and finally is starting to get its gear going after all that time. I don't know if
apparently they're gonna start shooting soon, or they're already been shooting,
right?
From what I'm aware of. So
that's a long time. I don't know. I don't know who's asking for this. Like every time it comes up, I'm just like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not asking for. I don't even think there's a point for that. Like, it sucks because I don't think people realize, or maybe I don't know if the directors or the writers, when Diego Luna was casted in this movie, they probably didn't realize how popular he's gonna get, because now he's gotten way more popular as an actor.
Yeah.
That now they're like, oh shit, we should probably use him again, but they can't use him as an actor in a different Star Wars film, because then it's confusing because he played a different character. It's just so I feel like that's what it is right now, is the fact that they want to obviously feed off his popularity and people like his character and stuff, which
I think ultimately the stance I'm taking with this thing is basically, if it's good and it's amazing, and I'm like, whoa, why didn't I think of watching this earlier?
I hope it's I'm the same way. I hope it's good. I hope it does great.
If not,
great story, but I'm not asking for it. I don't think you are too, like you said. But
if it turns out to be just kind of meh or even bad, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just gonna not watch it ever again.
It's just sprinkles on the ice cream, dude. It's just like, it's nice to have it, but you don't really need it. It's in there. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead. I know you got a couple.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue with some Marvel news real quick. Falcon and the Winter Soldier will reportedly focus on Falcon refusing the role of Captain America and the responsibility of that, but then accepting it after meeting the original Captain America, Isaiah Bradley, which I didn't know anything about this character at all, but a quick Google search really educated me and actually kind of really excited me. He's an African American soldier who was the proto Captain America from the U.S. government in World War II in continuity before Steve Rogers was given that serum. So that's kind of dope. I don't know if he's going to be super old as hell or if he also got stuck in ice. I don't know what's with that, but kind of cool. I'm excited for it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, this excites me that we're starting to get more like of a plot synopsis, or like, because I like the idea that he doesn't want to take the mantle, because even he was already hesitant when he accepted it in the end game, right? Yeah, it was end game. At the end. He was kind of like how does it look on me? But he seemed awkward about it. He doesn't feel right because obviously he knows that Steve Rogers is the Cap. But them adding the original, supposedly Captain America, which we'll find out more about in the series, is interesting, especially the fact that he's African American too. So that's probably gonna encourage him, like, dude, like, like, take it, it's not represent us or whatever it might be, so hopefully he'll probably be, I don't know if it's gonna be his guidance or what, or how are they going to bring him back? Because technically, if he was in the World War II era, how did they freeze him too?
Exactly. That's my question. Is like, is this guy going to be super old but still is able to kick ass? Like, he's a very old man, but he's like, don't mess with me.
He's probably going to fit him as like a mentor of some sorts, maybe. We'll
that'd
see,
be cool.
But I'm excited, man. I love the fact that we're getting all this news and stuff. The only thing that just makes you really uncomfortable, well, not uncomfortable, but more upset and kind of impatient, really, is because I just want to see this stuff now. And as of late, I don't know how you feel about Disney Plus, but it's lacking some content, like new stuff. Like, yes, it was nice at first to get all this old stuff, and we can kind of like fill our hearts with nostalgia with all these other shows and movies. But once Mandalorian has ended, I haven't really been watching Disney Plus, not as of yet, until they recently released Star Wars Clone Wars season 7.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, it's final season of Clone Wars.
Yes.
But I can go ahead and jump into that real quick.
Yeah, you can go ahead and jump into it after this. I haven't watched it just yet. But back what I was saying was the fact that, like, it's I just want this stuff already. All this Marvel news stuff, and I don't expect like Star Wars stuff to come out more recent, just because we just got Mandalorian, and I know the next thing is going to be season 2 of Mandalorian, and I think after that they're going to start to get the ball rolling on the other Star Wars
for sure
spin-offs and stuff.
Yeah, I would say with Disney right now, because the fever pitch of Avengers Endgame and that craziness was so high for so many people, and then once that got done, it just kind of was like, it's a big breath since then. Even with the Spider-Man movie, that felt like a drop in the bucket. I mean, like, it's just been kind of what's coming. And so I'm very excited to see these upcoming shows, because apparently Kevin Feige said on multiple occasions, you need to see these Disney Plus shows to understand what's happening in the future, which tells me that they're not pulling punches. This is going to be some serious stuff in these shows. Yeah. And with the number of shows, Loki, Captain America,
it's all going to be canon and related to the films, and they're not going to be like just like one-off stuff or side stories that don't really matter.
Right.
This is all going to take good, like, big part in their films
for sure.
And so
I'm really looking forward to it. But it has been a bit of a lull for sure. For me personally, what's been kind of filling that lull, which is the next bit of news I have, is for those of you who have not seen it, don't worry about them. There's no spoilers. But Clone Wars Season 7 has had a very strong 2 episodes start so far. The viewer count has been crazy. I know that it rivaled Mandalorian in total views for opening episode.
Yeah. And I didn't expect less out of that, because I feel like Clone Wars that time period that there wasn't a season 7 got a lot of people more intrigued into watching it before season 7 came out, and it just got more and more people excited about it. And I will say this though, I think Mandalorian kind of helped too.
Oh yeah,
and
I mean, yeah,
because
for sure.
I think it left a bad taste in people's mouth with the last Star Wars film, and then people were like, "Fuck yeah, like Mandalorian, Star Wars, this is what we wanted." And then now they're like, "Okay, Clone Wars is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's transfer energy to that for now until we can get more Mando."
Well, what's great?
I have not. Sorry to cut you off. I have not seen season 7 yet. I've only seen little snippets of it. The animation looks fucking awesome, which I can't wait to get to because Tim here actually hooked me up and actually set me up with a compilation of like pretty much like perfectly cut episodes, all the ones that are canon and the ones that matter, and just what should we call it? Like the timeline is all perfectly set up.
It's all in chronological order, and they're all the individual major arcs. So you have like the Battle of Umbara, but like I have it from the very start of Clone Wars, and I skip certain episodes that are very, very like they're fun to know and see if you have the time. Like Jar Jar episodes or these one-off little weird adventures. But
right.
The major like you need to know this because these characters go to do this and all that way through all the way up through season 6.
So I've been watching it and I'm almost done. I'm like nearing towards the end here. Once I am done, I'm definitely gonna jump on Clone Wars season 7. Now I want to get your opinion since you've already watched it and you've been caught up. So what did you think so far, like of season 7?
Well, I'll say this. I want to say this before I actually get into talking about it because I want to be very sparse with it until it's all out because then we can really go in depth with it. But the hype for me was extremely high on the first episode night, and I wasn't alone. Twitter was crazy, and then Disney. It turned midnight where I'm at, or like I guess it was 2 a.m. where I am, and the episode wasn't showing up for anybody. Everyone's freaking out, and so like spent 30 minutes trying to get it to show up. Got it to show up, and man, it was worth the wait. Even the extra 30 minutes, I was over the moon with this. It's not just out the gate, balls to the wall craziness. Like some people need to set their expectations a little lower. But what makes me so happy is that it feels like just a perfect, seamless continuation of the show and the spirit. The intro's the same, the narration's the same, the animation is just that much better. The actors are all the same. It's awesome, and there's a lot of cool stuff in it. So it's definitely worth a watch if you guys haven't. Get caught up if you guys haven't. But yeah, that's season 7 Clone Wars off to a great start, and we're excited for where that's going in the future. Next bit of news that I can go ahead and talk about is very, very brief, just because I don't know too much about this character, and that is back over at Marvel. Moon Knight, it's going to be a series, is set to begin filming in November, which I'm going to give a quick Google because I don't remember specifically anything about Moon Knight. But it says here
it's a bit of he's a bit of an interesting character. The one thing that it's still up in the air on who's been casted as Moon Knight. I know there's been rumors of Shia LaBeouf at one point. I think Daniel Radcliffe as well. And some other stuff. It's all up in the air as far as casting goes. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and read a brief, character synopsis.
Yeah, okay. So the character synopsis. Born in Chicago, Illinois, the Bears, Mark Spector is a Jewish American rabbi's wayward son. As an adult, Spector had been a heavyweight boxer before becoming a U.S. Marine serving in Force Recon. Afterward, he left the Marines to become a mercenary, occasionally doing work for the CIA. As a mercenary, he befriends a French pilot, whom he affectionately calls Frenchie. While working for the African mercenary group in Egypt, they stumble upon an archaeological dig. They basically dig through it and uncover an ancient temple where artifacts included a statue of Egyptian god moon god Khonshu. I hope I'm saying that right. If you're Egyptian, I apologize. And basically, in response to a murder that happens shortly after that, he is given powers. A Spectre challenges the Bushman into personal combat, is defeated, and he's left in the sub-zero temperatures of the desert night. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, he gets his powers from that Egyptian god, and
Right.
he's, from what I can tell, a very, very popular character. I mean, he's apparently in the top 100 Marvel characters,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know any of that hardly.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. I never really knew too much about Moon Knight myself. I knew of the character. I just didn't know his whole background,
Mhm.
and what exactly are his superpowers or whatever, right? Um, I think as far as like casting goes, even from the brief synopsis you gave us right now, I think Shia would be pretty fucking cool for that role. I
Yeah,
just don't know. And plus, like I said, he's been tied with Disney for so long. Why not come back for something cool like that?
right.
Because I don't expect Shia LaBeouf to come back for like a reunion episode of Even Stevens. Like that, I just don't see happening. But maybe to bring him back into the House of Mouse, I guess Moon Knight would probably be it.
Yeah, I mean, it's either him or I was trying to think of the name and I just looked it up. Rami Malek. He's Egyptian.
Oh
And it'd be
yeah,
kind of
that is a good
cool if he
one.
was to show up. This guy's from Chicago and happened to be in
Yeah,
Egypt. But I think it'd be
yeah.
kind of cool is
If he had some history,
yeah, I don't
because
know.
you're right. That makes sense. I got you
But
with that.
he's a talented actor. I really like Shia. I mean, like what you mentioned, I don't know if uh, Honey Boy kind of blew me
Mhm,
away and kind of opened my
mhm,
eyes as far as the range he has. He's not just
mhm.
one note kind of an actor. He's actually got some range, and so I'd be down to see him
He's
or
got
Rami.
range, man. He's got plenty of range.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Um, the
Yeah,
next
go.
bit of news that I have, and then I'll toss it over to you,
Yep.
is The Witcher. We know we love
All
it. We
right.
liked it.
Yes. Toss the
And
coin to your Witcher, boys.
for sure, some casting announcements have been made. So first up, I'm going to butcher this guy's last name, Christopher Hivju, or whatever. You know
Yeah.
him as Tormund from Game of Thrones. Has been cast in season 2 of The Witcher, alongside
Yes.
a Kim Bodina, who has been cast as Vesemir. Um, I haven't the slightest clue. Like I said in the review, Witcher,
Okay.
I don't know shit about this franchise. I've just enjoyed it. So,
Okay. I'm not sure which character Christopher is going to be playing yet. I don't think
mhm.
it's mentioned.
No,
But he's just casted in there. But I just love the fact that he's going to be in Game of Thrones, or no, I
in
mean,
The
he's going
Witcher,
to be in Witcher.
I
Because I
loved him.
loved him in Game of
Yeah,
Thrones, dude. His character was fucking awesome, dude. He definitely was the comedic relief, even though when he wasn't supposed to be like funny or whatever, like he's being serious majority of the time.
but you like
But
him.
it's just, yeah,
I
you
mean,
just love him so much, man.
yeah,
So I think his character is just fucking awesome, and I think if they can make him, somewhat of the same,
kind of vibe.
yeah, kind of vibe, but I think he would fit perfectly in that world
Oh
of The
yeah,
Witcher.
oh yeah,
Perfectly, even if he's a Witcher himself, that'd be fucking cool, dude.
yeah. I would totally get into
Um,
it.
yeah, and then Kimball Dina casted as Vesemir, which is very, very interesting because I had mentioned to Tim before we started recording that people really wanted Mark Hamill as
Hmm.
Vesemir, and I'm sure Mark Hamill would have been down for that, but who knows? I don't know how much money he would have wanted for a role like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I mean, I love me some Mark Hamill.
yeah.
I tried to look up Kim Bodina, and I couldn't find
Mhm.
anything personally.
Yeah, I think from what I remember, he's always been kind of like a side character. He's never been like he's never had like a big role movie.
Right.
I do remember a couple movies here and there, but nothing too major as far as I'm aware of. But if somebody wants to go ahead and
Mm,
comment down below on the YouTube side and let us know if he's worked on anything too big, please by all means. But I do think he's a good actor so far from what I've seen.
right.
And then as far as the character that he's played is really cool because that's supposed to be, as far as from my knowledge, from the little bit of the game that I've played and watched,
Uh
I
huh.
think that's like the mentor of like Geralt. If I'm correct,
That'd be
you
cool.
guys can tell, you guys can correct me on that one or not. A bit of a mentor towards him. So I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. But
Oh,
now it
for
makes me
sure.
sad because I think I would have loved to see Mark Hamill in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I here's the thing. I trust, especially with The Witcher. I trust whoever their casting director is, because they did a phenomenal job with every single casting choice they made for season 1. So if they see something in Kim Bodina and Christopher, then full steam ahead, because they're doing it right. And speaking of full steam ahead, season 2 has actually officially begun filming, and it's going to be released in 2021. So that's just excellent news for those who are long-term fans of The Witcher, and for new people like myself, we're just like, hell yeah, it's a good ride.
And then also, guys, don't forget that we are going to be getting an animated film that is supposed to be set between season 1 and 2, that fits, before that, just in case if you want your Witcher fix before season 2 comes out. So I'm not too sure when that's going to come out. I'm assuming sometime this year, maybe towards the end of the year.
I'm assuming it's before.
I assume so. Yes,
season 2.
Before. Yeah. So this is all great news, man. I'm just happy that they're they've gotten the ball rolling.
Oh, for sure.
We're getting some of these casting. I'm pretty sure these guys already probably have been filming. They just probably never made the announcement yet until you know what I mean? Because that's the way it usually goes. They've already been filming for a good minute, and then they just wait for them to announce, like, "Oh, I've been casted," because they can't really say anything. But that's my final thoughts for that. Did you have anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it. I'm going to toss it back over to you, man, because
all right,
I know you got lots more to talk.
I do. I got some horror related news too. Nicolas Cage, your favorite maniac.
Yes, for sure.
I love Nick Cage.
He's fun.
He's good. Nicolas Cage is exploring a terrifying amusement park in Wally's Wonderland. It's a new film. And let me read you this plot synopsis and let me know if this kind of reminds you or makes you think of something when I read this. Okay.
All right.
The film is directed by Kevin Lewis. He directed The Drop. Not sure what movie that is. A script from Geo Parsons follows a quiet drifter, Cage, who is tricked into a janitorial job. I like how they say tricked. At the new condemned Wally's World land. He finds himself trapped in an abandoned family entertainment center populated by demonic, possessed animatronics.
Pause it real quick. Hold up.
Fight for survival.
Pause it. Is there pizza? Is it potentially also a pizzeria?
There might be pizza. There might be pizza, man. I'm just saying.
That's some Five Nights at Freddy's if I've ever heard it. But
exactly.
But Nicolas Cage, and that would be dope. I'm down.
That fits perfect with this with the character, man. Like I said, populated by demonic possessed animatronics and must fight for survival. If it's just Nick Cage himself, or maybe just like another janitor or whatever, like fighting off these demonic possessed animatronics, I think that's fun. That works, man. That sounds entertaining.
Yes, it does.
Really entertaining.
It sounds like countless scenes of absolute. It's either going to be absolutely terrifying, which I don't know if it would be, or it's going to be a funny, scary time, but it's an absolute wonderful ride. And I'm hoping for that.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing, man. And there is a set photo of him. He just, it's normal look. He just has like I think it's like a baseball t-shirt kind of, and then just like black hair. He has a bit of a beard going on, but that's it. You can't really see too much other than the fact that he's like, it does look like he's at an amusement park type ish area. So I like this. I like this because I always thought that, me personally, Five Nights at Freddy's, I fucking hated the games. I think they're boring in terms of gameplay.
They get old very quickly.
Story-wise, I've always liked the idea.
Yeah.
The plot, or just the idea of the fact that of a guy, security is just in a room, and then at night he just has to monitor these things.
Yep.
It starts to come alive, and I think it's interesting. I like that plot. So I'm glad that they're doing their own twist to it. Obviously, this is not Five Nights at Freddy's, but they're doing their own twist to it, and it's at a whole amusement park, abandoned or whatever, and now they're possessed and they want to kill Mr. Cage.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. I think that Nicolas Cage has always been just on the hinge of,
it's
insanity.
Funny too?
So I think it's gonna be fun.
he's hit his mark right now, where he knows what's working for him ever since the movie Mandy, which I don't know you've seen that movie or not. Have you seen Mandy before?
Yeah,
you have. Okay, so in the
it was a while
Mandy
ago.
Yeah, okay. After Mandy, we got Color of Outer Space, which he's even more nuts in that movie too.
I haven't seen that one.
Okay, you haven't seen that one. He's just as nuts in that one. And then now we have this. It just seems like he's found his niche in the horror like genre, and that's good. It's working for him because he's already kind of a lunatic in terms of like character, like how crazy he goes. You know what I mean? He's good though. I love this news, and I'm excited, and hopefully we can get more pictures because it's already being filmed, and it seems like it's probably almost done already.
I want to see this.
There's no actual title of the film yet. It's just called Wally's Wonderland or Amusement Park in Wally's Wonderland. So I don't know if it's going to be something else, Yeah, so I'm curious to know what they're gonna actually name the film, but we'll keep you guys updated when we get more news about this because it's got me intrigued, man. I'm really excited. But I want to go ahead and give you guys another bit of scary news. Jason Blum says Halloween Kills feels like a complete movie. So basically we are getting a sequel to the 2018 film of Halloween. And that was a sequel to the original 1979 movie
by the same name. I mean, it's Halloween and Halloween, which is kind of confusing.
Yes. Now this is the sequel to the 2018 one, and this follows up pretty much. And apparently, there's gonna be a two-parter. So we're getting another film. So this is gonna end like in a obviously cliffhanger since he's saying that. Or what it seemed like, I think people were worried because they've already announced early on that there was going to be 3 films.
Yeah. Do you think they're trying to take a page out of like the Avengers Endgame, Infinity War Endgame book?
Yeah, something like that, I guess. And people were worried that it was going to feel like an incomplete movie and we're only going to get we're not going to get like the best stuff. We're going to have to wait till the next film. So that's where people were really worried about this one in particular, which is Halloween Kills. But he answers that question and he says, I worried about it until I saw the second one, and David Gordon Green, director, worried about it. That it would feel like, remember Lord of the Rings, like you weren't getting the full story. It doesn't feel like that at all. Halloween Kills feels like a complete movie. There's a first, a second, and a third act, and it has a big end. You still know the end of the second movie where the third movie's going, but the second movie ends in a totally satisfying way. So he's basically just, saying that it's not like it's going to end like on a cliffhanger to the point where it's just like you're going to feel dissatisfied about it.
Right.
We're like, so it feels like this is its own film, kind of like the first one. The first one felt fine. It ended fine. But yeah.
I think now, so I'm sorry. His whole point about Lord of the Rings not feeling like it's the whole story threw me off for a second. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah. Now I remember because I'm like, I view those 3 movies as one. I don't see them as 3 separate things anymore.
Yes, exactly.
So I get what he's saying now. Okay. Then I as long as it doesn't feel like they were like, here's our full length movie. Let's cut it in half and then fill this one up and fill this one up.
Yeah, so the titles of the films, it's Halloween, right? That was the 2018.
Yep.
Halloween Kills. And then the last one's called Halloween Ends.
All right.
So I'm done. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did you like the 2018 Halloween?
I didn't like the way it ended personally. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I forget how
I like how they captured the tone of the original for sure. The music was, oh my God. That's what it was missing too, because in the original 1979, certain music tones when he appeared on screen or he was chilling in the background, it just made you feel very uncomfortable.
Right.
Even when I rewatched it recently, it still makes you feel uncomfortable. It's like a stalker movie. This guy's stalking this girl, which later on we find out isn't actually related to him at all, because I don't know why this got all messed up in the universe when they made a whole bunch of other sequels. They said that Jamie Lee Curtis's character was related to Michael's, but no, it wasn't. So he
Nah.
was just pretty much obsessed with this woman, and then now he's want to keep coming back until she's dead. So well, I guess we'll find out in the next couple sequels.
That's exciting. I like that.
So, yeah, so I'm excited. Nonetheless, I love horror movies, so this is good. I like what he said there in terms of like we're not gonna feel unsatisfied, and there's already been early viewings of this movie too. Basically, just like if they need to change last minute things, just kind of get like the reactions and stuff, and it's been getting praised pretty damn good. So
cool.
I'm excited. It should be out this Halloween, I think, or in October. I don't know if it's Halloween, but I know it's October for sure.
Pretty close around there.
Which makes sense, obviously. But yeah, next thing we got on here is we got 2 HBO Max related news topics.
Okay.
First one is one that a lot of people have been asking for, man. A lot. I don't know. I don't know if you're a fan of Friends. You a fan of Friends too?
It's an unpopular opinion. So much. I don't like Friends.
No, totally understandable. I didn't really start getting into Friends until I met my girlfriend. Before that, I was like kind of like whatever's about it. Yes, I saw it on TV. I'd leave it on in the background. It was okay. It wasn't that big of a deal. I was more of like, I think I like Home Improvement, Boy Meets World. Like those are I enjoyed those. Married with Children. Like I was more into those. Friends was always kind of like whatever's. But once it got onto Netflix, and then my girlfriend just actively watched this series over and over and over every season, man. That's actually pretty fucking good.
Well,
it's funny, man.
That's what my wife's doing right now. Is she actually has Friends on in the other room, and she's been trying to get me to watch that, among other things. And I'm just like, I can't get into it, but I might try it. I don't know. I've just never been a huge fan because, like you, I've liked other ones like Everybody Loves Raymond, Frasier, those kinds of shows. But yeah, I mean, Friends is iconic for a reason.
Exactly. So basically, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer will reunite and return in the original Friends soundstage for an unscripted Friends special for HBO Max, dude. That's dropped exciting. A bomb on us a few weeks ago, which this news released in February 21st. So this is about a week or so ago.
Right.
And interesting stuff, exciting stuff. I just hope it lives up to the hype though, man, because they took way too long to do a reunion.
Yeah, that's the thing about reunions. Sometimes they land, sometimes they don't. Bad Boys, it landed. Other ones where it doesn't, Dumb and Dumber, it sometimes.
And I've heard this is only going to be like roughly an hour long. And I don't know if they might as well just do like a mini series where it could just be like 5 episodes.
I imagine if this is like super great and successful, I imagine it would kick off something.
Regardless, people are going to watch it, and people are going to subscribe to HBO Max because of this. And
money talks,
man. HBO has the rights for Friends now, so now you're going to have to watch Friends on
HBO Max.
On HBO Max now. So before it was on Netflix, but now it's going to be on HBO Max. So yeah. This is I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna tune in for this, and I definitely will subscribe to HBO Max for the first week for free, and then maybe I'll think about it. No, of course not.
Do the old like switch your hat rule where you keep changing email addresses and getting free trials.
Right. As of right now, it seems like HBO Max is starting to roll the ball on announcements for stuff that I'm actually excited.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So, which kind of leads to my next topic here. Nice little segue here. Joe Dante to consult on HBO Max's Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai. Now, this is something I'm on board with because I've always been a fan of Gremlins. I don't know. Have you ever watched Gremlins before?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, the first one especially is such a classic for me. Every single time it's on TV, I ever catch it, I make sure to try and watch as much of it as I can in that moment. If I have to go immediately, I like as I walk past, I'm like watching it.
Yeah, and I still consider the first Gremlins movie a Christmas movie because it has Christmas written all over it, dude.
Amen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read off this this paragraph that Dante, well, pretty much his statement in regards to this.
And Dante was
what
the original director.
To consult on HBO Max's Gremlins, right? Yeah, regarding project, Dante said, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now.
Okay.
So basically, during an interview with Daily Dead, Joe Dante and director of Gremlins and Gremlins 2, director both, the new batch revealed that he will be consulting on HBO's upcoming animated Gremlins prequel. So it's an animated one.
Okay.
It's an animated series, Gremlins: A Secret of the Mogwai. Regarding the project, Dante said, "Yes, I am consulting on it. It's good. It's going to be good. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the way it's been going. It's a prequel. It goes back to the character Mr. Wing when he was a boy. So
the guy who originally gave it?
Yes,
Yeah.
the old man that had the shop. He's goes back to him when he was a boy. And he first discovered the Mogwai. It's set in China in the 20s. And it is an animated, and it's a very big in the sense that if you tried to shoot it as a theatrical film, it would be outrageously expensive.
Ooh.
But in animation, you kind of get away with almost anything you can, anything you could think of. And it probably is not going to be done until 2021 or maybe the end of 2020. It's for HBO Max, a new streaming variant of HBO. I think this is a really clever way to get back into that. I think that they found a pretty difficult to make a sequel for Gremlins 2 because of just the way I made it. And they just could never really quite figure out how to do it. So I think this is a great way to sort of get the franchise back on people's minds. And he is 100% right about that. A lot of people probably don't remember Gremlins at all. And,
I don't remember Gremlins 2 at all.
Yeah,
I know I've seen it.
Gremlins 2 wasn't, it's not as great. It's still funny to watch, but it wasn't as good as the first one. The first one
iconic
was definitely, and there was even some horror, scary at times. Especially there's a scene in particular with the main character's mom, where she's like fighting off all these gremlins in the kitchen, and that shit is terrifying, man. She goes through hell with them, which I think was great. Gremlins 2 was a little bit more on the comedic route. There was a lot of goofiness and outrageous things going on.
Right.
Now I do like the fact that they're going animated and that they're telling a prequel story of Mr. Wing, because I've always wanted to know, where do these Mogwais come from? Because they don't really talk about it. It's never really mentioned. It's just always mentioned. It's always set in stone with the rules. Don't get them wet. Don't feed them after midnight. And it's just like, why though? Like, where did that come from? Like, so this is cool, man. I'm really enjoying the fact that, and also they got the original director Joe Dante to be on board with this to kind of oversee everything. I like that. No, you understand? Basically, he's being the
shepherd,
the shepherd of the Star Wars. George Lucas. They bring him on board to see, like, you can use that, but don't do it that way. Pretty much, he's pretty much being the George Lucas of this whole franchise thing. And because there has been talks of a sequel, a third Gremlins. I have read reports about that before, but I'm glad they're doing this first. And eventually, if they want to do a 3, they should. Because this would be cool, man. Not only that, with all the hype with Baby Yoda, like, dude, Gremlins are fucking adorable, and I think we can all agree here the original Baby Yoda was Gizmo. I mean, let's keep it real here. Gizmo is still, to this day, he's an OG, and he's just fucking adorable, man.
Yeah. My concern with what was said in that little bit there, but it kind of got muted after a little bit, was I thought this was live action. He said it was animated. So I'm like, okay, are they going for more of a childish approach? But then he mentioned the reason it's animated is more budgetary,
budget-wise,
than it is for like the creative vision, which I think is a good thing, because I don't want it to be like kid showific. I mean, it's pretty childish and cool as a whole, but I feel like an origin for these kinds of creatures kind of lends itself to being a little bit more intimidating, or not. That's not the good word. I guess more scary than just these cute things. I don't know. I'd be very interested, and I like that they're connecting it to the old man. I think that's a good touch too.
Right.
So I'm excited. I'm down.
Yeah, this is great news, man. So I have 3 more news topics I want to bring up, and then I can go ahead and toss it over to you, and that's it.
Okay.
So next one, we're getting nostalgic with Gremlins, and now this, the Goonies. Have you ever watched the Goonies?
Of course.
Man, I have so much love for this film, dude. So get this, guys. The Goonies Re-Enactment series gets pilot order at Fox.
What does that mean? Reenactment.
Now, let me go ahead and read you this. This is nearly 35 since Richard Donner's iconic film The Goonies had made its theatrical release in 1985. Deadline reports that Steven Spielberg's Amblin Television is bringing back the beloved iconic comedy film in a form of a new untitled drama series, which has just been given an official pilot order by Fox. The series will feature a group of aspiring young filmmakers as they attempt to recreate the Goonies shot by shot.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's not what I was expecting at all, because I didn't actually read the article.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That gives me vibes like Super 8 a bit of following some kids who are wanting to be filmmakers. But does he hint at all that it's actually gonna go a route that kind of leads to the same stuff as Goonies, or is it just gonna be these kids are trying to make a film?
I guess they're trying to make a film, but they're trying to do shot by shot of the Goonies. Obviously, they can't do. I'm assuming they're not going to use the original actors because they're way too old already.
Weird.
So this is gonna be this is interesting. Interesting. It's just interesting to think about why they wanted to go this route. It sounds like it could be fun to watch.
Yeah,
instead of doing like a sequel, because I feel like that sequel has been in the works for fucking centuries already. It seems like, dude. People are trying to come up with things, but it's just never. I feel like this to kind of get people to watch the original maybe if they wanted to. But I like this idea. It could be interesting. It's by Fox. So it's a pilot order. Hopefully, usually the pilots they green light it or they don't.
Yeah, so they're testing the water.
They test the waters, and usually sometimes pilots get leaked. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you never see the light of day. So we'll see. I just thought this was really interesting that they wanted to do a reenactment series.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
I haven't heard that before. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Come from right. So let that settle in your mind for a little bit and really think about it.
Yeah, but, that's odd.
Next thing that we have here is Disney Plus related, and Hilary Duff has published a public request for Disney to move the Lizzie McGuire series from Disney Plus to Hulu. Now, let me read you her statement.
Okay.
Was incredibly excited to launch Lizzie on D+. My passion remains, however, I feel a huge responsibility to honor the fans. Relationship with Lizzie, who, like me, grew up seeing themselves in her. I'd be doing a disservice to everybody by limiting the realities of a 30-year-old journey to live under the ceiling of a PG rating. It's important to me that just as her experience as a preteen/teenager navigating life were authentic, her next chapters are equally as real and relatable. It'd be a dream if Disney would let us move the show to Hulu. If they were interested, and I could bring the beloved character to life again.
That's interesting. This is Hilary Duff, right?
Hilary Duff tweeted this. She posted this on her Instagram story.
Okay.
So let me give you my thoughts.
Yeah.
As how I took this first, and I want you to go ahead and let me know what you think.
Okay.
When I read this, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you should be grateful that Disney Plus wants to bring back Lizzie McGuire. Like, that's a huge thing, man. Like, they could have just left it in the shadows and I don't even remember Hilary Duff actually acting. And it's been a long time since I've seen her act or be around. I know she's like a full-time mom and stuff like that. So I was a little upset by the statement at first because I was like, damn, like it sounds like she was grateful, you know, but as I let us settle in a little bit, and I started to think about it more. She has a point. Her point is basically that she wants to be able to tell the story of a 30-year-old woman and not of a 13, 12-year-old little girl, which take place of Lizzie McGuire. So Lizzie's already grown up. So why are they gonna like?
Yeah,
she don't want to water out the story if it's taking place in an adult version of Lizzie McGuire's life. So now she's like dealing with adults, like being married, or I don't know if she's married in the story, or going on dates, or whatever they want to do that probably Disney won't allow on their service, which would probably be like kissing or hugging each other or showing affection, or maybe some swear words here and there. So it sounds like she's trying to please the OG fan. Yeah, more than actually please maybe bring in a new audience at all. She's not seeing it from that perspective. I think she's only seeing it from the perspective of the OGs, because they're the reason pretty much this whole revival series is coming back.
Right. I have an interesting thing, and Hilary Duff is someone that I've been aware of my whole life, but have hardly seen at all. I never watched Lizzie McGuire. I didn't watch hardly anything else she was in. And I know she dropped off the map as far as entertainment goes to focus on family. And she's one of the few Disney stars that once they left Disney didn't kind of go batshit crazy. So there's some respect there from me to her as far as maintaining just her self-image, and she respects herself and kind of has a good head on her shoulders here. So I take that with the statement, and I kind of think it over, and I think I'm going to have to agree with you. And it's fine wherever it lands, so long as if she does make sure that it doesn't show up on Disney Plus for that particular reason or whatever, and then it turns out to be no effort put into the show. She's just kind of phoning it in for a paycheck, and it's not benefiting from that opportunity of a rating. Then I'll view this very differently as just kind of grandstanding. But if it's truly her intention to really give herself to the character and let it mature like the character should, then props. Honestly, props. I respect.
Yeah, and that's kind of a bold move to do, by getting their attention by posting it on their Instagram.
Yeah, Disney's a big mouse now. It's not just a tiny little creature. That's a big bear to poke in the industry. And
that's still up there. So I'm surprised nobody told you to take that shit down. You know what I mean? Because technically they could. They could probably ask her to take it down. But yeah, it's interesting, man. We'll see what happens with that. It's a bummer because I know there was like early pictures and stuff of them on set and stuff. So from the sound of things, it doesn't seem like, and I believe a director got fired or let go recently of creative differences, is quote unquote, because we always hear that word.
That makes me wonder if they started and it was something
they started to go like something more on the route that she wanted it to go. No, a route where she wanted it to go, but Disney didn't want that route, and they got somebody else on board that probably was trying to make it more family friendly. Specific,
right?
But
and that's kind of
Lizzie probably, and Lizzie probably wants it, or I'm sorry, Hilary Duff probably wants it to be more of what their original take was going to be. I don't know if this will actually be on Hulu or not. I don't see it being on Hulu.
I don't know.
It's just, I think the whole reason for them to actually announce that Lizzie McGuire was coming back was because it was going to be on Disney, not because their intentions was going to be for it to be on Hulu.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, like, it's a corporation. You got to remember, media, as much as we love storytelling and integrity, it's all about money and pockets. And it doesn't matter if they have enough, they're still going to want more. And then to lose a franchise that obviously has a devoted fan base would be something I don't know if the mouse would want to do. So we'll see what comes of it, if anything. But I know for one thing, a lot of ladies, including my wife, who loved Lizzie McGuire, as soon as they found out that they were going to be doing this, lost their shit. And so I would really hope it does come out just so that those people can be happy. But yeah, that's interesting for sure.
Yeah. So I want to end on a positive note from my end of the, last bit of news from me. The Suicide Squad, the one that James Gunn is writing and directing, which is basically a reboot kind of ish.
Yeah.
It's basically just taking the good parts from the original Suicide Squad movie, basically taking Margot Robbie's character and Jai Courtney's character, which he played Captain Boomerang, and then putting him in a world with other different characters that look more of, I mean, as far as like the set photos that I've seen, it definitely looks like a James Gunn film, because he's using a lot of characters that people have no idea who the fuck they are, and very like weird and quirky and funny. Like there's a polka dot man. I didn't even know polka dot man even existed, man. I think there was a condiment man at one point too, but I don't think he's in the film. Yeah, condiment king. There is a whole bunch of like weird characters I'm unaware of, but James Gunn always does a great job of making these characters that don't really, don't see the light of day that often, making them look cool as fuck. So it is officially done filming. They're done.
Cool.
And it's going to release August 6, 2021, as of right now. That's just the initial release date. They can always push it back a little bit if they need to, or maybe move it forward. But he also has some words to say. He said that James Gunn says making the Suicide Squad was the most fulfilling time he's ever had making a movie. An emotional note, marking the end of the end of the filming. That was it.
Wow.
Pretty much that it was like, it was probably like so fun, and he probably attached himself with a lot of the actors and characters. And
well, I don't blame him, because like the cast, like, have you seen some of the names in this thing? It is
let me read out some. Let me read out some of the cast members in here that I know stand out to most people. John Cena, you can't even see him, but he's on there. He's in there somewhere. Sean Gunn, obviously, he's known for being in his brother's films.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi's in here too. Viola Davis is back too, by the way.
Yes.
Idris Elba is back. He wasn't in that movie.
No, he wasn't in the original.
He's coming in. Yeah,
that's dope.
Michael Rooker is in there too. Well, man, Michael Rooker is freaking awesome. He was in The Walking Dead. He also is in Guardians of the Galaxy as the blue dude. I forgot his name.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The name didn't click for
me. Something like that.
Yeah, Yondu.
Yeah. Yondu. There we go. Margot Robbie, Julio Ruiz, Stephen Age, Alice Brock. Dude, there's so many freaking names here to name. Pete Davidson's in here too, the comedian.
Yep.
I heard his character is going to be pretty out there. It's going to be like a funny version of like a Batman or something like that.
Okay.
And there's just a whole bunch of freaking the cast goes on, man. And I'm excited, dude. I really am.
The fact that he says this has been what did he say specifically? It's the most fulfilling time he's ever had while making a movie. That's kind of crazy cool, because I love the Guardians films. I really enjoy those. The soundtrack on those movies are
which, by the way, let me cut you off. Guardians 3 is going to begin filming once he's done with this one.
Yeah.
So he's going to be working on Guardians 3. So yeah.
I've loved James Gunn's movies since I saw Guardians. I haven't seen any of his stuff too much from before that, I think. I know that he worked on some things, which I didn't know he was working on. I know he did. He worked on the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. Did you know that? Which are guilty pleasures for me.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised that he says it's the most fulfilling. That means I don't want to.
That lets you know that everybody in the cast and himself was having a lot of fun making this film. And usually you can tell the energy from a lot of those films when they're having fun, but they transfer that energy on screen and they're gonna go out there, dude. They're gonna fucking turn it up to 10. And I hope, man, this is like a really good DC film. And in terms of like, it gets him more noticeable and get him on board to do more like comic book movies.
Yeah.
He's already done, because I don't know, me personally, man, I feel like obviously the whole controversy with James Gunn and that whole issue,
the
with
old
him,
Twitters,
tweeting,
tweets.
he tweeted out a couple like untasteful things in the past, and somebody dug it up, and then
that was a long time ago.
Disney
too.
fired him, and then they rehired him, and it was just like, yeah, this man needs the love and support right now, man, because he went through some shit, and
people evolve. I mean, you can't hold people to the standards of perfection across the entirety.
No one is fucking perfect, regardless of race, color, gender. It does not matter.
Especially in youth,
ever perfect. Dude.
Especially when you're younger, you don't know as much. Like, you may not be educated, or you may not have the same sense of I shouldn't say things, or I have more self-control.
Not only that, but he already had made a public apology a long time ago about that.
Yeah.
But it's just people just want to dig up at fucking old tweets about this stuff. It's because he's getting popular with all these films. So
I hope it goes well for him. I really do.
I really do too, man. He deserves it, and I hope that this is the best Harley Quinn.
I'm looking forward
that we get of her. Because I'm curious to know where the direction that James Gunn wants to go with that character in this film in particular. So, and there's also been already like photos of Margot Robbie in like a costume.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
It seems like she's wearing like a red and black dress, and it's completely different from the tone of what we saw in the original Suicide Squad movie and the Harley Quinn movie
Birds
as
of
well.
Prey, yeah.
So yeah, it's not as colorful. It's more just simple. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I like it. Last bit of news, the Suicide Squad. If you guys are excited, let us know as well, because I cannot freaking wait for this. But Tim, what do you got for us, man?
All right, final little stretch here, guys. So I have a last little bit of DC news here. Photos from the set of The Batman has shown this particular scene was a evening bike chase and a stuntman in a bat suit. It wasn't actually Robert Pattinson. It was a stuntman. But I personally, I know that some people don't like it as much. I personally thought it looked pretty decent and passable, because obviously there's going to be post-production done to things. They can clean it up. They can change certain aspects of it, or even add a cape or whatever. But I personally was like, hell yeah, sweet. It's not all tinted red. I like that. So I'm thrilled with what I saw. I don't know how you like the photos or not.
I didn't really like it. I'll be completely honest with you. I thought it looked really weird, and just I think the arm bracelets, the silver part of the arm area, just looked a little off to me. But there was another picture of Robert Pattinson. I don't know if it's still out there or if they took it down, but they had him with the cape and everything, and the suit looked a lot different compared to the one where that stuntman was wearing.
Right.
So what I'm thinking, what might happen is throughout the film, his suit might actually just evolve into like a better suit as it goes.
Right.
Since this is technically the second year as Batman. So he's still evolving. He's gonna get, he probably doesn't even have a Batmobile in this one yet.
Yeah, he's honing his craft. So,
yeah. So he probably just gets, as he's progressing or going through like these crimes or whatever, and he probably takes a bullet to the chest and it actually almost pierces him. He probably feels like he needs to fix his armor up, or maybe change things around here and there to enhance his weaponry or whatever, right? I feel like eventually by the end of the film we're gonna get a full on the actual Bat costume, and I think we're still just barely getting snippets of what throughout the film what we are gonna get, but not the last final one.
For sure. I've liked, like I said multiple times now, I every single time we get a little update or review, I'm loving what I see.
I'm liking the tone of it though. From the shots, and this is just photos, by the way. It's not even the film yet. But I like the fact that where they're filming right now, I don't know exactly where it was. I have to double check that, but it looks like it's like raining too, and it just has that Gotham City feel to it, man. And I'm just like, yes, I can't wait, man. But other than that, man, the photos it's like I said, they didn't really do too much for me, but I'm excited still. It's not really like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this anymore because this looks like shit. But I just don't want to, I don't want to say that that's the final Batsuit.
Oh, I don't think it is
so, yeah.
for sure.
But yeah.
But in other news, Chris Pratt, our boy, Star-Lord himself, this doesn't have to do with Marvel though, says that all the cast from the original Jurassic Park movie will be coming back for the third Jurassic World movie, and they have begun filming, which I think is dope. I think it's safe to say, I think the original Jurassic Park movie is one of the most iconic movies. It's a staple of film. Like it's a need to watch along your journey of catching up what makes movies movies. Jurassic Park 1, the original, is stellar. And they've been chasing that high ever since. And to bring back the cast from the first one to this will only help them achieve that, in my opinion.
Dude, I want to see Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill.
Yes.
And Laura Dern all on screen
Yeah.
with Chris Pratt too. Like, please, man, please make it happen. Because I think what they want to do. I didn't see the last Jurassic film. I need to watch it, but I heard mixed feelings about it. Mixed.
It was stinky.
From what I'm hearing is that they want to give it the end game type of thing, where they want to get everybody from the original films to come back.
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of movies are starting to do that now. Like, or not even just movies, TV shows too, where they obviously with the whole WB
CW comic book where they had like the
crossover event, whatever. Yeah. So I just feel like you're gonna start seeing that more often, where they're gonna have a lot of the old actors come back, reprise their roles.
Well,
but this is good, man. I mean, this is good news. I mean, like I said, they can get Sam Neill in there to interact with Chris Pratt, which is technically another version of him, kind of ish.
Chris Pratt's actually pretty badass. I will say this. I think. Personally, I did not like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I believe is what it was called, right? Or something like that.
I didn't watch that, but yes, that was it.
I didn't like it at all, but you do need to watch it because the way it ends, not the way they got to that ending, but what the ending means, I actually kind of love. And I really think there's potential.
The setup, pretty much the setup, right?
Yeah, okay. Like it's a necessary next step, because otherwise it's just going to parks.
And Jeff Goldblum is in that film too, right? But
for about 3 minutes.
And they used him in the trailer too. Messed up, because that is like classic clickbait, man. Come watch a movie because Jeff Goldblum's in it. But
he's in a courtroom saying, he's like, "Yeah, don't do that, it's stupid."
Yeah,
in scene. I'm like, what was that? Like, that's it. But yeah, no, I love 1. I love Jurassic Park 1. 2 is hit and miss with me. 3, I have been a kind of a fan of. I like that ringtone being in the
1 and 3 the most. 1 and 3 the most for sure.
Yeah. Fallen Kingdom, not Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic World, the newish one. I like that one actually.
Yeah, the one was okay. Jurassic World was okay.
And Fallen Kingdom has been a miss. So far, it has 3 out of 5.
One of the most iconic scenes ever, which most of you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But it's the scene where all the shit's going down, and the guy with the 2 margaritas, which, by the way, I think that's the director.
Oh, really?
Of the film too. Yeah, it was a fun fact.
That's cool.
It's either the writer or the director, but he's the one that grabs the 2 margaritas when shit's going down. He's like, great.
I know some people would be like that too.
Yeah,
but that's cool. I'm excited though. This is some cool news.
This is good news.
Yes, for sure. Next bit of news happens to be a news about G.I. Joe. A spin-off film has been I can't remember the title. I actually forgot to know what that is.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Spin-off film.
They've fully wrapped filming now, and it's going to be coming out in theaters in October. Are you huge into G.I. Joe? Was that like your franchise?
So that was like before my time. I'll let you guys know for real. But do I know of it and did I watch the cartoon? Yes. The reason why is because I grew up with two older brothers and we're pretty far in age group. And which is why some people call me an old soul, because I like watch a lot of older stuff that wasn't even a part of my generation. But they were born in that generation. Like they lived through the 80s, so they're old school, you know. My two older brothers love GI Joes. They had the toys, and they passed those toys down to me, and I even played with those.
Yep.
And one of my favorite toys was always Snake Eyes, and Snake Eyes was the all blacked out ninja in the group. Everybody else was like a soldier. Someone had like an iron arm and all this crazy shit, right? But like the Snake Eyes was like, ooh, like the black ninja. Like I love that guy. Feels sick. So basically, that's what this film is.
That'd be cool.
It's a Snake Eyes spinoff, which I think might be a prequel from what I'm getting at.
Okay.
And it tells the story of that character, because eventually you don't hear any dialogue from him ever, as far as I'm aware. And even in the films that they had, the G.I. Joe movies back in early 2000s, the ones with you don't refer to
John Cena, I think, was in those. Or was it John Cena? It wasn't John Cena. Who was that? Crap. I just had his name.
I know The Rock was in one of them. He was in the sequel. And then there was another one with Channing Tatum. That was the first one.
Channing Tatum, that was it.
Yes. Now in Snake Eyes in those films, he didn't say any dialogue at all, but he was always a badass in those films. In this one, from what it looks like, I think it's just his story, Snake Eyes. And maybe how he becomes a mute of some sort. I don't know if he's just like he can't say anything. Maybe he's vowed, like, you know, never to say a word or whatever. But I think from what it looks like, it's gonna be like a ninja film, man.
That'd be cool.
And it looks cool. Like just like the pictures that we got so far. We don't really know too much about the plot synopsis just yet. But it's done filming. It's officially a wrap, and hopefully this can maybe set up a new G.I. Joe. Yeah, and maybe taking it more on a realistic route or something, you know, because from the shots that I'm getting at, the ninjas are not like over the top, but it looks, I mean, like I said, I don't know, it's just pictures, but it looks cool. I like the tone of it already, just from the set pics.
Yeah, I didn't like the two G.I. Joe movies earlier because it felt like a Power Rangers Fast and Furious wannabe.
Yeah.
And that kind of
make sure with like Transformers a little bit there and there too.
So I was just like, it's not for me.
I hear you on that. They were definitely hit or miss for people. I personally enjoyed them. They were just dumb action for me. But it was, like I said, it was almost like watching the cartoon all over again, because it is just dumb action.
Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes that's what you need.
I remember G.I. Joe even had a crossover with like Street Fighter too.
Oh shit.
In the cartoons, it was just wild, man. It was all over the place. But overall, I'm excited for this, and I hope this is like I said, if it's successful, they could probably set up a reboot to a new G.I. Joe.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of successful movies that have spawned an additional, Baby Driver 2 has been greenlit at Sony Pictures, with Edgar Wright returning as the director. And shamefully, I will admit, I have procrastinated. I have procured the movie from Redbox to watch. Okay? But I haven't activated the rental for Baby Driver. I have yet to actually watch it. I plan to do that soon. I've been meaning to do that before we went live today, but yeah.
Tim, please.
I know.
Listen,
because I think I even fibbed on the podcast earlier, said I had seen it to seem cool.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I don't want to overhype this film, right?
Yeah.
But I will say that I really, really, and like I'm telling you, dude. But the thing I want to talk about part 2 is that there's a particular character played by John Bernthal, which we know as the Punisher. He played the Punisher in the 2 seasons of the Netflix. He also played in The Walking Dead in the first 2 seasons of that. He's a phenomenal actor, dude, and he can also play a really good dick. And that's pretty much what he is in this movie, in the first one. But his character is not in it for that long, but that was like the best part of that movie. And me personally, like, I loved him, but he's not in there that long, and apparently he's gonna come back for this one. And if they can make him the main fucking villain, dude, that's so this will be such a good film, dude. And you'll know what I'm talking about once you watch the movie.
Which I'll watch it tonight. I'll get it done.
I don't want to spoil too much,
yeah,
but I really hope you enjoy this film. Because even him, when he like leaves or whatever, the film is still great. Don't get me wrong. It is absolutely a fun ride, man.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to point out the fact that he's actually coming back for the sequel. He's like rumored, obviously. It's all kind of up in the air still, but it's just the fact that they greenlit a part 2. Dude, yes. I'm finally, because I was wondering, I was like, it's been since 2017, I believe.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 2017 since we got in the first one. So I figured we would have gotten some news in regards to part 2 because it did pretty good on Rotten Tomatoes too. I think it was like in the 90s.
I've heard nothing but absolute praise for this movie, which is why it's so shameful. I have just been procrastinating, but I will fix that tonight. I swear to God. I swear on everything. I will do that. I have it ready.
Let me know. Tweet me your emojis and let me know.
Yeah.
He's, extra buttery or buttery, I don't expect nothing less than that, honestly. But just kidding. But honestly, this is beautiful news, and I hope most of you guys are excited for Baby Driver 2, because if you haven't seen the first, do yourself a favor, go watch it, and you can find it pretty cheap online, YouTube to rent for like
it's like
bucks.
It's like $3.99, I think.
Yeah, and it is a fun ride.
Yeah. So 2 more things, real quick. Tom Holland has mentioned in an interview that there had been talks to work on a Back to the Future reboot, but mentioned that you can't improve on perfection.
Right. So did you watch that whole little
interview?
Like no, not the interview, but there was a clip that went out. Basically they CGI'd Tom Holland's face in a scene of Back to the Future.
Oh, the deepfake?
Yeah, the deepfake.
Yeah.
They CGI'd Tom Holland's face onto
Marty.
Michael J. Fox's character, Marty McFly. They put his face in there, and Doc Brown's character,
RDJ.
Yes, they put Robert Downey Jr.'s face on there.
Yeah.
And dude, this hit the internet and it was buzzing, dude. But people wanted a sequel, or people wanted, a reboot. Mainly people were just interested in a reboot. And I've been a type of person that's been very defensive about this film, because I don't want it touched. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't want this film to be touched, because if you've seen Back to the Future 1 through 3, and I didn't like 3 very much as a younger kid, but when I watched it now as an adult, all 3 of them fit together as like one film, kind of like what you said about
Lord of the Rings.
Yep. You just see them as one film. This Back to the Futures, I see those 3 as just one film. It all makes sense. It all connects, and it's beautiful, man. I love it. I did like the deepfake stuff, though. I will.
It was entertaining for sure.
It was entertaining for sure. Now, I think it would be great to have Tom Holland maybe do a sequel as Marty's son.
Oh yeah, I'd 100% do that.
Do something original. Do something completely original, and do something to where we're setting up a new future at one point, because people were like, "Oh my God, 2015, October, when that date happened, it was a big like Back to the Future event. Yeah, here in LA, there was a bunch of like, I live pretty close to the mall where they shot the film too.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, one of the main scenes, and yeah, it was like a big thing, for 2015. But now we're past 2015. Now what? Yep. They can do something later on, future wise, man. Set up, 21 or something, whatever. Yeah. Do it with Tom Holland, and I don't think they should do Robert Downey Jr. Only because Christopher Lloyd is still alive. Granted, he is kind of old, but that can kind of fit with the story, because that means that they can set up an emotional attachment to the point where eventually he dies. Yeah. And then now Marty McFly's son, Tom Holland, has to find a way back home from the future or the past or whatever, or maybe he needs to go back to the past to find a younger Doc Brown or something.
That'd be cool.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
They can do so much with it.
For sure.
With his, they don't like. I think it'd be really great, man.
Yeah.
They don't have to copy and paste it into a reboot.
No,
I don't think that's
I would be
necessary,
upset with that.
and I think everybody's okay with them not making a reboot, but maybe a future setup
Yeah.
for sequels, or just like a whole new series of 3 other films. Do it, please. I think
Yeah.
I'm on board.
And I like how I like how Tom Holland put it. I mean, he says that you can't improve on perfection, and you don't always have to do a reboot of things. And I think that's a good thing. The sequels for sure, I'd be down, but we don't need to remake or rehash for sure.
No,
so I'm glad that they kind of came to that conclusion. And then finally, I know that you have quite a bit to say on this topic, and that's why I kind of saved it for last for you, so you can kind of go ham if you want. Okay. HBO has reclassified Watchmen as a limited series, meaning we probably won't ever see a season 2. Now you have been going crazy talking about this and loving it.
I've been trying to watch this. It's just the fact that a lot of people don't want to have to pay for HBO. It is kind of expensive, to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah.
Which is why it's probably going to be on HBO Max. But whenever it actually ends up on HBO Max, and you get all this other content to add to watch, on your list, please, guys, consider watching Watchmen. If you love comic book movies, and if you like the fact of those comic book movies that make it more on the realistic side, this was still more, it's still comic book-ish.
Oh, for sure.
You can tell, but there's moments in the show that make it more whoa, okay, they went that route, they're killing people off like that. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it is a fantastic show. Almost, I wanted to say it's a fantastic movie, because from beginning to end, it feels like a movie. Because
you almost have to, I would say, to really enjoy it, it's worth binging it.
Yeah, no, it is. I binged it. I binged it. Within 2 days, I finished it all easily. And each episode is an hour long, and there's roughly around 8 to 10 episodes.
Yeah, I think there was 10. I think.
Yeah,
around 8 to 10.
Yeah, it's around roughly 8 to 10 episodes, and from beginning to end, it is the most clever fucking show that you would not be able to predict at all from watching it. If you don't read or watch any trailers in regards to it at all, you will not predict it, because I tried my best, and I'm usually pretty good at trying to set up oh, this is probably what's gonna happen, right?
Right.
I couldn't, dude. As soon as I think something's gonna happen, no, they switch it up on you. You're like, wait, what? I was literally yelling on my screen, dude. I haven't done that in so long in terms of twists and turns.
Right.
And it all worked out, man. And I really hope some of you guys that are listening really consider watching Watchmen. Promise you it will not let you down. That is a 5 out of 5 extra buttery for me. You guys should 100% watch it if you're into comic book movies, not even just comic book movies related. There's a lot of obviously the show's based off of at one point it's based off of racial tension, but there's more to it. I promise you. Once you get past the first couple, it was 2 episodes that have to deal with some racial tension into it. I promise you, there's a bigger picture to all of that. It just all connects.
That's just a small piece of it that happens to be the first thing you chew on.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know you watched the first episode, you were a little bit iffy about it because you're kind of
I was kind of fed up with that, but you convinced me and edged me, and I ended up finishing out the series, and I enjoyed it as well. I can speak, if you don't like that kind of content from the very beginning of how it's very, very much white people bad all the time, it's not that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It moves. Just trust us when we say give it a shot. Watch through it all, and then at the end, then
especially now that they're probably not going to consider doing a season 2, because it is from beginning to end, it's a perfection. And I don't throw that word out that often. The last time I said that in terms of a show was Breaking Bad. I thought Breaking Bad from beginning to end, perfection. Now this one, perfection, dude. I don't even think they don't need to do a season 2, but if they do, great. I'm excited. I'll be the first one there, but they don't need to. They really don't.
I don't think that they will. I mean, they've been really working to reclassify it as a limited series, or they're saying it's kind of done. So I think that was a one and done, but it was a very successful one and done. I mean, I think it's safe to say it knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Absolutely. Out of the park, then. But is that it for you?
That's all the news, man. We're finally done.
Yeah, we did it. I know.
2 weeks of news.
So much. for hanging in there. Hopefully you guys got through your drive, your workout, or even through your work if you're like in an office listening to the stuff. We just want to say thank you guys so much for being patient with us and hanging in there. I know, sorry we didn't get an episode out last week, but we wanted to make up to you guys and make sure that we made this one extra lengthy.
Yes, indeed.
For you guys to listen to, and hopefully you guys agreed with some of our points of what we made of some of this. Even if you don't agree, let us know what you thought maybe could work differently, with some of the the castings, all the announcements and all the news topics that we actually covered today. Once again, thank you guys so much for being patient in regards to the Spotify stuff, in which we will have a link down below on the YouTube end to let you guys know that go subscribe or go follow us over there on Spotify. You can listen to it there while you get your workouts done, or like I said, you can just be working, have it as background noise. So it's another option for you guys to listen to it on there. Or if you'd like to prefer the visual aspect of watching us here, we'll also have that up on YouTube. And please head on over there, give us a like and a comment, and share the podcast as much as possible, guys. This has been helping out us a ton.
Yes,
man.
it has.
We've been getting some brand new subs, and we were very grateful for that. So thank you guys very, very much. Thank you for those of you that have been supporting, liking the videos, and sharing it. Also messaging me, letting us know that you guys love the show, and it literally warms us, with motivation.
For sure.
And
it's worth it.
Other than that, guys, thank you guys again for tuning into this episode. Tim, thank you so much covering all that news.
No problem, my friend.
And we'll stay tuned for the review of The Invisible Man, which we will have to you guys very, very soon. And also one last announcement before we head off here. The episodes are going to be up on Spotify sooner than the actual video on YouTube. Correct. Just so you guys are aware. It'll probably be up a day or two earlier than the actual video. So if you guys prefer to just listen to it, then you guys will get it as soon as possible, as soon as we're done recording, practically a day after that. And then the video will be up probably a day or two after, because we have to add all the nice little effects and stuff, overlays, all that. But other than that, so that's more good news. Anyways, we appreciate you guys for watching. That's pretty much it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for What's Poppin' Podcast, and we'll catch you guys on episode 10 next week.
See ya.
Take it easy, guys.